and welcome to this Back to School Prep with Me video, Distance Learning Edition.
The great yellow sun is reflecting in your deep blue eyes. The day has begun. You spin around, you laugh to yourself. And I see you shine in every color, resting your head in my arms. You sing la 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 la. My God, I think I might be in love. Get rid of
Hello Mugglebees. This video is part one of a two-part series that we'll be hosting here on our channel with all things back to school for distance learning. And if you're new here, my name is Erin Mugglebee and my husband David and I own a children's theater here in California. So here you'll find lifestyle videos, homemaking, and tons of creative inspiration for you and your family. We would love for you to stick around and hit that red subscribe button. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And let us know down in the comments below what your back to school is looking like. So depending on where you're watching, back to school this year is going to look completely different for a lot of us. Maybe you're going back to school full-time in the fall, hybrid model, homeschool, or in our case, we are going back 100% distance learning. And given how things went this spring, oh God, it's gonna be good. As a parent, I am feeling a little bit anxious on how I'm going to manage it all and make it a successful experience for my kids, but also not a stressful one. So one of the ways that I'm helping to prepare myself and my kids is I am making a list of all of our best practices that we learned from the spring, but also what my husband and I have really learned over the 10 years that we've been running our theater company. And I hope that by incorporating these things early and deliberately, that it will set a positive tone for our new school year. And I hope that they can help you. The fact that you found this video, that you're out looking for some tools and tips and inspiration shows that you care about your child's education. You are already ahead of the game and you are doing an amazing job. No matter what happens this year, your children are going to be okay. And know that I'm here with you and I believe in you. We got this. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So the first issue that we needed to find a solution for was time management. And I started to think about how we run our camps during the summer. And with our camps, we teach about 75 kids plus in a 2-week period, and we teach them an entire musical, plus we lead them through designing and creating all of their sets and props that they perform with. And we get a ton of work done in a very short amount of time. What we use during camp is what's called a block schedule. And if you haven't heard of block scheduling before, I've linked down below a video to Jordan Page. She has got an amazing video that really kind of dives in deep with how she does block scheduling for her family at home. I'll have that link down below. But essentially what block scheduling is designating certain chunks of time for certain tasks. For example, for our theater company, we have the morning session that is about 3 hours long, and that is 100% dedicated to the rehearsal of our show. And the afternoons is 100% dedicated to the arts. So how am I going to implement it into the home? I will be breaking the morning up into little chunks. First one might be a check-in, followed by a warm-up activity, and then depending on your start time might depend on when the teacher arranges for a virtual meet. We'll do a quick snack and a little bit of a break, and then we go into our first assignment for the day. Now you can make your afternoons a little bit more flexible if that works best for you, but for us I think we will stick with some of the subjects that are a little bit easier for our kids to accomplish, but I want to have their day set. Block scheduling can also be super handy, especially if you're working from home. You can schedule out and block, this is when I'm going to help you from 3 to 4 or from 10 to 11 in the morning. Otherwise from 12 to 3, I am in my work block. And the kids know and you know that that is your time to do work, but then they also know that they get your time and your attention during this block. That can really help, especially in a busy household where you have work requirements as well as student requirements. Again, you'll have to kind of be flexible with what your teacher designs around the distance learning curriculum and how they are approaching the new year. Now at home, because home's a little bit more relaxed or just more familiar with kids, it could take a week, maybe even a few weeks for them to really kind of master this new schedule. But I guarantee that if you are consistent, they will follow suit and they will get into the rhythm, and then they'll depend on that rhythm and they'll appreciate that structure. Give it time, it will happen. In camps, it usually takes first 2 to 3 days, but then by the end of that week, the camp is running like an oiled machine. And that's really what you want to try and create in your home with distance learning or homeschool, is get it into a well-oiled machine so that you know what to expect every day, the kids know what to expect, and then overall, I think that will help keep stress down, keep anxiety down. All right, so now presenting the block schedule to your kids. I might do a simple printout that's color blocked in different colors, or even letting her color in the different blocks. So she can choose that purple is my check-in and green is when I get to meet my class, and let her take ownership over where those categories are and what colors they are. Can be really effective. And then have that schedule posted nearby where she can see it. For my son, I think something more tactile would be beneficial for him. So what I do for him is I will create a laminated sheet of paper with little designated boxes, and the icons really kind of show him the visual cue of what task and what assignment he has, and then what he can expect that's coming up. And as he completes each assignment or task, he can then take that task and move it over to the done column. And that gives him the visual, but it also gives him the tactile reinforcement, can help engage him in his own schedule. All right, tools. Let's talk about tools. So it's one thing to have your day perfectly planned out. It's quite another to have the kids fall in line and actually do the work that they need to do. One of the biggest things that they are missing with being at home versus being in school is really watching and seeing other classmates around them working hard. Just like with adults, if you see other people working hard and motivated, it's going to motivate you to want to do the same thing. That's why we hop on YouTube to watch all of these videos of people living their life and doing all these amazing things, because it motivates you to want to do better things for your home or your family or whatever it is that you might be searching for on YouTube. Same thing for kids. When they're in class with their classmates, that is what gives them motivation to work harder and do the best job that they can. One of the main tools that we use to bring back in some of that incentivizing is what am I working for chart. I usually have a selection of all their favorite preferred items, so it can be something as simple as a treat, chocolate gold coin, or maybe a special milkshake at the end of the day. Maybe it's time on the iPad, and they get to start their day choosing what they are working for. And it's a great tool for when they start to lose motivation. You can help point to that and say, hey, look, this is what we're working for. And once you complete this, we get to do this. And then with our sheets, we have little tokens that they can earn throughout the day as they complete tasks or complete assignments and keep them motivated to keep going. For my son, it works better with more immediate items. Like I said, that milkshake or the Play-Doh or something that he can get a reward right after he completes his task. For my daughter, who's going into the 4th grade, I might change it up to where she can earn tokens, and for each time that she completes her token sheet, she'll get a special award. And then by the end of the week, she could take those awards and transfer them into money that she could maybe purchase something that she wants from Amazon or order something. So for her, it's not so much that immediate, but it could be something that she is working for over the long haul of the week, and know that she gets to reward herself for all of her hard work by the end. As far as how you apply the reward system and the positive reinforcement, that's really kind of up to you and what you know about your child and what would incentivize them the most. So going back to the start of our schedule, one of the tools that we are going to be starting with is roll call for the beginning of each school day, which might seem a little silly when you're doing distance learning at home, But what we found during our summer camps is every child came to camp and they would check in and they would check out when they left. But when they checked in, they would draw a little design. It would be more than just an X. It would be, sometimes they'd draw a little picture and then get really, really elaborate. Or they might draw a letter, and then each box, as they went throughout their day or went throughout their week, they would add a little letter and it would create a sentence by the end of that week. So, and it's just kind of, you know, back in the day, a teacher would ring that bell to signal the students it is time to start. Checking in something as simple as a box can give your children that cue that, okay, school is starting, it's time for me to get down to work. And then the first thing I do is we'll start with an easy warm-up. So for my daughter, it might be a practice of her multiplication table. For my son, it might be practicing his name. And it's a little simple activity that I know that they can tackle, feel successful with, and start their day on a positive note. And it's just, again, it's a way to set a nice positive tone. Another tool that we use for our kids to stay organized, not only for them but for me to keep track of the assignments, is we have made a daily and a weekly binder for them. So within this binder, at a glance, they've got their daily assignments that they have to use for the day, and these are editable using little post-its. In the morning, I'll just simply start by writing them down, and then as they complete them, we can remove those post-its and they know that they've completed that for the day. In case there are any projects that come up that might be due in a week or even a couple weeks down the line, you can also help keep track of them using the same binder. So as you can see, this is my son's desk behind me, and he's got all of his crayons and tools that he might need right there. For my daughter's desk, she's got her own space, which I do think is important if you have the space to do it. Our kids share a room, but we managed to squeeze in 2 different workspaces. And speaking of tools, these are different times. Chargers. Make sure you have chargers and that your devices are charged, ready to go for that day. Or if they're working on a computer, make sure that that computer is ready to go. Pages are opened or easily accessible or bookmarked for your students to access them easily. Adding this extra prep work might feel like a lot in the beginning, but all these little steps are going to, over time, make your workload and your days go smoother as well. All right, so that's it for today. I hope that these tips could help you and your family if you are doing distance learning in the fall, or if you are going back to school and should things change in your county and you end up doing distance learning. Hopefully this video can be helpful to prepare you for that potential transition to home. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below. Next week will be part 2 of our back to school series. I'll be talking all about food and meal preps for your family for breakfast, lunches, and dinners. And parents, just know that whatever happens this year, we are all going to make it through. We're going to be okay. And you're doing a great job. So until next time, I'll see you later, Mugglebees. Bye.